Well guys, I officially did it this time. So a few days ago, I was rummaging around and I was going through my backpacking gear and I decided to take out my titanium cook pot just to give it a once over, make sure everything was good before we do some trips. And I removed the lid, opened it up, and had a big ol' moment. So what I found in my titanium cook pot, it was horrible. It was rusty. So this video is going to be all about removing the rust from my pot, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys my process while I did it, because I had to do it anyways. So before I dive into this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below or click this link right here above me, and leave a like on the video if you wouldn't mind. Also be sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss another video that I put out. I really appreciate the support, and I hope that you guys find this video informative and that it also helps you out. Now this is a Toaks 1100 milliliter titanium ultralight cook pot, and the thing is awesome. I made a lot of meals in this bad boy last year when I first bought it, and it hasn't let me down. Now I personally prefer the larger pots to take backpacking because it allows me to eat a meal in it, such as freeze-dried backpacker meals. I've really come to hate eating those meals out of the bags that they come in because it just gets all over your hands, and no. Included in this kit is the 1100 milliliter pot, and the lid doubles as a pan with a volume of 250 milliliters as well. It also comes with this orange mesh storage sack that keeps everything together, and it actually also has a small little pouch, a little hidden pouch, where you can keep a lighter in it. So weighing in at only 5.6 ounces, this thing is awesome, man. Really, it's a featherweight piece of equipment in my gear stash. So it's priced pretty well at $48.95 US dollars on REI's website. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I'll have a link down in the description to REI's website for anyone who wants to give it a look. So if you know anything about titanium and these cook pots, you know the titanium is corrosion resistant, meaning it doesn't rust. And this goes for other brands like Snow Peak as well, who are also in the titanium cookware business. So the question is, why and how did I get rust in my pot? Basically, it all comes down to the fact that I left something in my pot that is a metal that will corrode and will rust. The number one culprit for this is because I left my stinking fuel canister in my pot all winter long. So this is what I'm left with, a nice rust cake at the bottom of my pot. So kind of like Forrest Gump said,
I'm not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man,
But I know what love is.
But I know what rust is. And now I have to fix it. It shouldn't be too hard, but I thought that I'd clean the pot up and show you guys my process of doing so at the same time, because I'm sure this has happened to other folks, not just me. So here's what we'll need. Vinegar, some rubber gloves, some kind of sponge. So these guys are walnut shell scour pads. They're really just kind of what we have at the house, but you can just use a soft sponge, that'll work too. And then you'll just need some paper towels. So step one is going to be to grab your vinegar and to fill your pot with it until all of the affected areas are covered. Vinegar is a solid option to use here because its acidity will really help loosen up the rust. Now we'll just let it sit in the pot for 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll move on to step 2. Come back. Okay, so it's been about 3 hours since we left the pot. Time to take it into the kitchen and get started on step number 2. So this is where you'll want to put your gloves on. If you don't wear them, the rust concoction that we have going could stain your fingers depending on how much rust is actually in the pot, but it will dry your hands out. I've done it before and it's not very fun. So while the vinegar is still in the pot, we're going to give it a light scrub with a good bundle of paper towels. Now let's empty the liquid and dispose of it by how you see fit. So step number 3, at this point there will be a little rust left in the pot, and sure enough there's some hard stains down near the edges of the bottom of the pot. So let's put a splash of clean vinegar into it, grab our sponge, and start scrubbing. Repeat this process until all the rust is gone. Now I'll be completely honest, these spots were hard to get off. With my soft sponge I couldn't get it, so I eventually switched to more of an abrasive kitchen sponge, and that didn't quite get it, so I actually ended up moving to some steel wool at the end, and with a little bit more elbow grease I was able to get it off pretty quickly. So step number 4, once all your rust is wiped out, scrubbed out, and you've got it looking good, you'll want to empty out all of the contents out in the sink and rinse it out really well. Wash it with the dish soap, water, and just like that, your pot should be looking back to normal. Now the fifth and final step, this one's actually optional, and that would be to lightly coat the pot with some olive oil. That's what I did. I spread it around with a paper towel. When you're ready to use it again, just be sure to obviously wipe out the olive oil, clean it out again, and your pot's good to go. Okay, that's it. We did it. The pot's looking great. The rust is gone. The pan's looking good. And the pot is ready to be used again on the trail. So now, as we all know, it's a pretty common practice to store your fuel in your pot. We all do it. The problem is that the fuel canister will rust, again, because it's steel on the bottom. So a good idea that I recently learned would be to wrap your fuel canister in a bandana or even a light cloth before putting it in your pot, especially for long-term storage. The cloth will kind of act as a barrier and will absorb that moisture if there's any excess left in your pot. So on a weekend trip, you'll probably be safe, but it never hurts to have an extra cloth lying around camp. Just remember that when you use your fuel canister with your stove, the canister condensates and creates moisture. Everything needs to be dry before you stow it away. And that's it. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys and hope that your pot will come out looking brand new, just like mine did. Check out my write-up on my new website, www.DannySchaeferTravels.com. I'll be doing a whole blog write-up also on how to clean your pot if you're interested in checking it out. The website's brand new. I'm really excited about it, and I would love some feedback on what you think of it. Again, if you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like or a thumbs up, and I'd love some feedback down in the comments section of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.